Hello, ladies, and welcome. You're listening to the Wise Up and Rise Up radio show that's all about empowering you to wise up so you can rise up and increase your confidence, self-love, and achieve your dreams. With me, your host, LJ Jackson, on Amazing Women of Power, the world's leading positive programming network powered by Raven International. So if you're a woman that makes investing in your personal growth a priority, or you're looking to be empowered and inspired to do so, then this show is for you. So stay tuned as I interview a woman who definitely has a story, a message, and talent to share from wising up so she can rise up to her greatness. But before I bring her on, I definitely want to share her bio with you so that you can really appreciate her journey and her expertise as well. Her name is Batista Gremaud, and she's a published author, empowered speaker, entertainer, and co-founder of Body Design Formula Systems and the International Institute of Body Design. Batista Gremaud started her professional journey at the age of 3 years old at her parents' Academy of Dance and Dramatic Arts in Switzerland. She made an international career as a ballet and flamenco artist and has performed all over the world. Certified as a personal trainer, Batista is primarily a Body Design Formula 7 Grade Master Teacher in the Dr. Fitness USA protocol. Batista's expertise is in strength training, includes structural realignment of the spine, getting rid of back pain without surgery, injury, prevention, and post-rehabilitation of injury. Certified as a practitioner in 5 healing arts modalities, Batista understands that fitness philosophy of quieting the mind and strengthening the nervous system will play in the true integration of body, mind, and spirit towards the complete consciousness shift within an individual and the evolution of the planet. So I know that was a mouthful, but as you can see, she's done a lot, and she has yet to do more. She regularly appears as a celebrity guest expert on radio shows on the topic of fitness and consciousness. Without further ado, Batista, welcome.
Well, thank you. Hello. I'm so excited to be here and have this interview with you and share a little piece of my journey with you and your listeners. Thank you.
Yes, great. And we are absolutely excited to have you here and get some tips and insight from you. And so, Batista, one of the things that I like to do, since this is a Wise Up and Rise Up radio show, is to give the listeners some key tips that help them wise up. And so, do you have 2 key tips for the listeners today?
I sure do. And the first tip that I have for your listeners is very important. This tip might actually save your life and extend it and change it entirely. And my first tip for you is include strength training in your fitness activities. It doesn't have to be done every day. You can do it 1, 2, 3 times a week for half an hour, 45 minutes at a time. But include it because it's the most overlooked fitness modality. It's not that popular yet. I think that it's going to get more and more popular as people find out about it. People still have the image of bodybuilders when they hear strength training and lifting weights, but it has so many health benefits and anti-aging benefits on all levels that I would say just make sure to include it in your routine. And my second tip, which has to do also with strength training, but it's on a different level, from a different perspective, is contrary to popular belief, it does not have to be hard. We are in a society of no pain, no gain when we think about fitness, and it does not have to be that way. The way it has to be is sustainable so that it can be part of a lifestyle for the rest of your life, not just for this 30 days where you made the resolution that you're going to, get in shape or whatever. But no, 30 days is not going to cut it. It just has to become part of the lifestyle. It has to be sustainable, and the only way it's going to be sustainable is that if it actually feels good and makes you empowered. So no pain, no gain? No way. The motto is no pain, more gain. So these are two great tips, and I think that will actually save your life.
Wow,
Definitely.
that's amazing. And so when you say strength training, so I have somewhat of an idea, but for the listeners listening to the show, just in case they're confused about what strength training looks like or what that is, can you define it for us?
Absolutely. Strength training is actually a category of exercise of its own. It does not have anything to do with walking, stretching, yoga, Pilates, or aerobics, treadmills. It's a category of its own. It requires having some weightlifting equipment that looks like maybe some dumbbells or some barbells, or, it's best done in actually a gym environment which has the proper equipment. But strength training is actually what that means. It means to build strength, right? And so it requires some kind of equipment, and you are going to actually lift some weight, push some weight, lift some weight, or do some weight that require equipment. So that's, a really like a layman description, but I think that's self-explanatory. In other words, pumping some iron.
Well, yes, that helps a lot. Thank you so much for that clarification. Okay, so now let's get into the meat and the nitty-gritty of our interview and having you on our show. So, Batista, share with us all about what you're up to and what's going on with you. And I know that you have this expertise, and we're going to have the pleasure of having Dr. Fitness on the next week's show. But for you, talk to us. Tell us what's going on.
Yes, thank you. So before I get on with where I'm at right now and the message I have to share, I'd like to tell you a little bit of where I've come from and what has led me to get here, so that you and your listener will have a better understanding of, my why I am so passionate about the message I have to share. I actually was brought up in a family of artists. My mother was a ballet dancer, and my father was a mime. So I made a career as a dancer, first a ballet dancer and then a flamenco dancer. So over the years, I have always been in the world of exercise and being in shape, or trying to be in shape, or, eating well. And, in order to have a career as a professional dancer, you have to look good, and, you have to fit in your costumes. And so that has always been something that has been a priority in my life. And but, dancing is really hard on the body. And as I grew a little bit, I don't like to say older, but, the years do go by very fast. So when I got in my 40s, I started to really pay the price of physically of all those years in dancing. And what happened to me is I started to have to suffer from many injuries related to dancing, and somehow my metabolism changed, my hormones changed. I don't know, whatever happens in women, as the years go by, and somehow I could not keep. I couldn't keep in shape anymore. Something was happening. The injuries were getting worse, and I felt like I was going on a spiral down. And I have a long history of studying the power of the mind, the power of thinking, manifesting, and that whole New Age philosophy that so many people are into. And I intuitively, I knew that I could manifest something that would change that predicament I was in. So I made my vision board, and I put all my intentions in one place, I really put all my effort and my thinking, everything into manifesting something that could change and get me back in shape. Now, you have to understand that as a dancer, I had already tried pretty much everything throughout the years. I had done yoga, Pilates, personal training. I had been on every diet. I have done the stretching, the aerobic, everything. So there was not really a whole lot of places to look at of what's next that's really going to fix me, right?
Right.
Yeah, so it was kind of like throwing a balloon to the universe and say, okay, now what? What's next? And sure enough, as the saying says, when you make an intention and when you really desire something that's in alignment with divine purpose, then the universe conspires to make it happen for you. And what happened the next day, I met Dr. Fitness USA. And that changed my life. It changed everything that I believe about working out. It changed my entire philosophy on training and being in shape. And basically it changed my life. And what happened is, at that same time, I'm at Dr. Fitness USA, I had some hardship in my life. The economy collapsed. If you remember, in 2008, a lot of people suffered from the economy, and both my parents passed away within 2 weeks of each other. So it was a really hard time.
Wow,
and
that was hard.
Yeah, extremely hard. And I had already made the decision to engage in this program that Dr. Fitness USA had to offer. And thank God, because it saved me emotionally, physically. And I have to tell you that within a couple of months of practicing his principles that are not only physical at the gym and with a specific methodology of addressing the exercise sequence and everything, that has to do with practicality at the gym, but also the philosophy, as I mentioned in the tips earlier, about never to do anything that is uncomfortable, about being empowered from the inside out. So I embraced that philosophy, and within a couple of months, all my injuries disappeared, my weight stabilized. I got my body back, I got my life back. Okay, so it was amazing. And since it is kind of like a best-kept secret, that method and philosophy is so powerful, yet not too many people know about it, and it's a shame. Because in my mind, for what I see, it will revolutionize the fitness industry completely. I call it the new paradigm in fitness consciousness, because that's what it is. And so I made a career transition. I put my dancing shoes down momentarily. I'm thinking about picking them up again now. And I dedicated my life in bringing the message out. So I wrote 4 books. I'm in the process of writing another one, which is going to be published towards the end of the year. And now I'm on a mission to tell everybody the good news that, yes, you can get your body back. And it doesn't have to be hard.
And Batista, before you go on, help us understand, because I know you said that you went through all these hardships and you made the sacrifice and it paid off and he saved your life. But after having gone through and trying everything, what was a defining moment or something that you saw or he said that really helped you make the decision and see that it was worth it to invest the time and energy in his program?
Well, that is a great question. Thank you for asking that. I went to his office and I had a long conversation with him, and he explained to me the philosophy, and I had never heard anything like this. Being an athlete, for me, it was always about doing more. It was always about don't listen to the pains in your body, just keep going, the show must go on. And that was the first thing, and it was the only thing that I had never heard of, and that really puzzled me. I was thinking, how can that be? How can you get results doing that, so it triggered me, but I had never tried that before, and I tried everything else. So, I had asked the universe for the answers, so it was like, maybe there's something here. And the other thing that really pushed me also to make the decision is that Dr. Fitness USA has been developing this technique for over 45 years, and the track record is amazing. And so he's worked with hundreds of people before me, and he has like testimonials and pictures, before and after pictures that are not photoshopped, by the way. He has pictures like from
that's a good point.
Yeah, and I mean, he has an album of pictures from 30 years ago. Photoshop didn't even exist then, right?
And
but so the pictures were going. I was going, whoa, wait a minute, these people don't even look like the same people. But what the testimonial they were saying, they were all saying what I'm telling you now about the transformation and the inner transformation and the conscious awareness and the connection with spirit. I mean, on all levels. I mean, there's hundreds of people saying just what I'm telling you now, in writing, in audio, in video, as the years went by, the technology changing, right? So there are letters from the 80s. And I read all this, and I went, wait a minute, there must be something here. And to be quite honest with you, when I think about it, I'm surprised that none of these people really took upon themselves to do what I'm doing now, to bring it out there to the public. But on another hand, maybe the world wasn't ready to receive it either, because it is really revolutionary. And but I'm here now, and I'm here now